Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2. We're going to pick up right where we left off from episode 1. We're also going to mill up some wood for the ledger and talk about the next steps as we move forward on this deck. Enjoy! Okay, I'm going to let that soak in a little bit. Just makes it easier to handle once it dries up. And I got to go pick out some wood, see what I got for the ledger board, which I'd really like to put a 2x10. I'm going to have a 2x6 joist coming off, but I'd just like to be able to connect that to the existing 2x10. So I'll bring it back when I kind of corral up that wood. So I will say I prefer the claw on my bucket for these logs up on the mill. I can just drop them down like that instead of try to roll them off or slide them out. There's not a whole lot of clearance between the bunks and the rails, so by the time you get your pallet forks in there or your loader forks, you can hit that rail and all that kind of stuff. So that claw really helps avoid all that, because you can just come from above and just slowly drop it. So, but I can avoid that from happening by just putting on the proper log stops. So what I'm cutting here is just about a 10-foot log or black locust. And I'm going to make my ledgers out of that, just nice hardwood. I'm going to see if I can get at least 2x10s out of this without creating a bunch of scrap. So we'll see. It's certainly round enough, large enough, but I do have some branches coming off. So if there's any rot there, that'll pretty much render them no good for what I need them for. It really renders them no good for everything but firewood. You don't want any kind of damage, whether it's insects or lightning strikes or just rot in those where the branches come into the trunk, because it creates a pretty significant weak point. So let's open her up and see what happens. So I like that position. This is the smaller end, so I don't always have to use my jack, but I'm going to use it for this. So I'll give you a close-up. So of course Woodland Mills makes probably a toe board jack, or it could be a scissor lift or whatever. I'm just using an old car jack that I've had forever. So, and I just have a 2x under there. It's plenty. It doesn't put a whole lot of pressure when you're only coming up between 1 and 3 inches. This jack is definitely tired, but it's fine for what I'm doing here. I wouldn't use it to jack up a car and go under it. Alright, that looks pretty good. So we'll see what we can get out of this. It's a little chilly. The last night got down to like 9, and we're not getting a whole lot of sun. I got a solar charger on my battery, but I got it tilted quite a bit. We just didn't get a lot of sun yesterday. Otherwise, that thing usually starts up right away. Honestly, with this heavy of a log, I probably wouldn't even need these log clamps here. I'll just throw one on there and you'll see. But most of these, when you first cut in a cant, around the first cut, because it's a round log, you know, you should use those. I would recommend you use the log clamps. But once you got a flat surface like that, one side of the cant cut, you really don't need it until you get down there where it's too light to kind of hold itself. All right, now we just flip it 90. Got quite the bow, so I'm gonna have to use my jack again, which is always tricky when it's set up like this. And I like to use a level, just to make sure it's plumb or square. Pretty dang good. So we got a bow on that side and a dip on this side. So we're gonna lose some wood here, but you just got to do what the log tells you to do. Just want to try to get those 2x10s though. So you see here, this is just going to be firewood, but further down, there's probably at least a 1-inch board in there. Maybe 4 to 5 feet long. And I try not to waste any good wood. Well, I mean, by waste, I mean burn. So we'll keep some of this. After two 7-foot 2x10s. And I think this, like I said, measures just under 10 foot. Yeah, 9'10". So if I got to come in a foot or so on each side to get my 2x10, then so be it. But I think we'll get it. We won't have perfect ones right, or perfectly square ones right at first. But little live edge doesn't hurt nothing. So it's going to be about a 10 1/4 cant, which is perfect. And some of them will have a live edge. I'm not too worried about that. I like to get 2 that are square as possible, but we'll see what we can get. All right, let me show you. So this log isn't a total loss. Sorry about that. But as I was saying, a branch came in right here, and for outside stuff, I'm still going to use it. I mean, this is what you really want to see. Down here, it's solid, and of course super hard to get through. As soon as I hit this area, I knew I was in the punky area. and then I came out of it. So it could be insects. It's hard to say. With those branches, could have just piled up some water and some rot went in there. I'm not really sure, but these lighter spots are definitely the punky areas. But there's enough wood in there to do what I got to do with it. Like I said, it's just going to be an outdoor kind of deck, and I am going to treat it. I may even burn these Japanese style, and if there are any bugs in there, hopefully that burns them out and kills them and keeps the integrity of the existing wood. But this side's real bad. That's why I was trying to flip it around, trying to avoid this. If you take your knife, this is a real caveman test here, but if you take your knife and do that, you see it's just coming out. Now let me show you down here where we have solid wood. I can't even barely, I gotta put some serious force to even make a dent. So that's exactly what I was talking about. You take a chance on these. I got a little bit. I'm gonna go with 2x8s instead of 2x10s. Thinking about it, like I said, my joists are 6 inches. I'll just cap off the remaining with some flashing. But so yeah, I just wanted to hit pause there and show you that's exactly what I meant and what I was afraid of. And you know, it happens 30-40% of the time, at least for me. I'm sure I have other logs up there that'll be nice and clean. So, and then I have all them woods still, so it's all good. Okay, let's go back up to the deck area. Okay, now that we got that all treated like 3 times, 4 times, that's got to set before I start handling it and squaring it. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and come into this bank here. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but and make my foundation there. And I actually have these really big square, I think they're like 10 inches wide, 10 inches deep, and then square 14 by 14. So I think I'm going to use them. Dig down deep, put some gravel, pack it real good, put that down on there, pack that in with gravel, and then rest my 2x6s on that. So I forgot I had those. Those will come in handy. And really, I only need 3. I may just do another beam like this too. I haven't quite decided yet whether or not I want to put my ledger. That might actually be easier. So, you know, just come with me, watch me work. I'll figure it out. So this trench kind of widens out in the center here, then it comes back in down there. You can see, I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but that first paint line is closer to the barn than that one is. These two should be pretty close, but I guess we'll find out. Hey everybody, this is Jason. So from here on out, I'm just kind of thinking and talking to myself while I'm digging out the footers, so I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of digging footage. I will let you know kind of the next step is to set the cinders, get them all compacted in place. But in the next episode, we set things on fire and things get real interesting real fast. So stay tuned for episode 3. Hopefully it'll be out within the next 5 to 7 days. And like always, appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. Take care.